y'all doing? Well, what I want to talk to you about today is the other piece of cookware that I think every kitchen ought to have. Now you hear me sing praises about my cast iron skillets, you know, and pans all the time. I do love my cast iron. I like his Bailey's a little bit too. God, I love that homemade Bailey's. If y'all ain't seen how to make your own Bailey's Irish cream, make sure you check out my video on that. Man, that stuff is good. And I'm having a little nip because I feel pretty good about my diet. I'll go into that on another video. But anyway, in my opinion, no home should be without a pressure cooker. Now, I have a big one for doing canning, but this one here is for, you know, cooking supper. And this video primarily is for people that's never owned a pressure cooker. Those of you that do have one, you know exactly what I'm talking about, how wonderful they are, and how they can turn the worst piece of meat into something tender. And oh man, you just a little salt and pepper, a little barbecue sauce, and man, you got you a barbecue sandwich. You can take the toughest piece of meat and turn it really tender. But this was the only pressure cooker they had at Walmart. Philippe Richard, everyday cooking and entertaining, little 8-quart, limited lifetime warranty, and this little feller was about $39, I believe, 29 or 39, I don't remember. Anyway, it's the only one they had, so I bought it because we got us an Aldi grocery store here in town. And man, I ain't never seen the like of them putting stuff on sale. I ain't seen this in a long time. But they was advertising chicken legs, a dozen in a pack, for 69 cents a pound. Well, I thought that was a pretty good buy. Until I got there and they had them marked half off. I said, what? They said, yeah, they've all got to be sold by tomorrow. He says, so they're half off. So I bought chicken legs, I mean nice size ones too. I bought these daggum chicken legs for 35 cents a pound. So that made this almost a 4-pound package. Ended up being $1.37 for a dozen chicken legs. Well, folks, dog food costs more than that. I buy my dogs that gravy train in the can, and Lord, a can of dog food's 36 cents for 15 ounces. So we're talking about getting some real chicken here. And so what I'm doing is I'm using this chicken to make a base for my cabbage soup. But I try to get the fat off of it if I can and just use the broth itself and let the dogs have a good old chicken fat. Boy, they like it. Anyway, let me tell you what the pressure cooker can do for you. We can take these chicken legs when they're thawed out and we can cook them until the meat is almost falling off the bone in like 10 minutes. Now, your pressure cooker will come with a little book, how to and all that, how to use it. It'll also come with times. A chart on here tells you cooking time. For example, if I want to cook vegetables, let's say cabbage, 2-inch wedges, it says cook 1 to 3 minutes and add a ½ cup of liquid. And if I want to cook chicken, let's see, what does it say here? It says fowl, pieces of fowl, cook 8 minutes, and add a cup of water. Wow. Well, I wanted to try this little feller out before I did this video, because I wanted to make sure that, you know, I liked it and everything's working good. And I made the mistake, you know that old saying, assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Well, I made the mistake of putting the same amount of water in here as if I was going to boil my chicken. And we ain't cooking it that way. It's actually getting steamed under pressure. And with my chicken legs and water, I was up like this high. And that is not at all necessary. About that much liquid is all I'm going to need in here, because we're going to steam this chicken. And I want you to see what this looks like whenever I take it out of the pressure cooker. Anyway, this one comes in 4 pieces. You've got your pot, you got your lid, and you got your gasket. And this gasket lays in right under here, just like this right here. And if it don't feel like it's laying right, you may have it upside down. You just take it out, turn it over, okay? And if it gets a little hard to close, you can put just a little bit of vegetable oil on there if you want to, and it'll help it close. But what you'll do is you'll put your water in here, your chicken. This thing lays out across there. There's a right way and a wrong way to do this. Apparently that's the wrong way. Let me turn it around one. There we go. And this just slides into place. It locks into place. And this old feller's got 3 safeties on it. It's got a little black plastic button here that a pop if this thing is dangerously over pressure. It has a safety lock that once this thing is under pressure, it's going to kick in and prevent you from opening. You won't be able to open this, okay? It's got another safety lock over here. So the idea is, with pressure in the pot, you're not going to be able to open it. Now, this little fella right here, for the sake of anything else, we always just called it the jiggler. This old feller is set with the weight of this is to allow you to build up 12 pounds of pressure in this pressure cooker. And what'll happen is we're going to put this in there on a stove with the chicken and water in it, and when it starts boiling in there and building up that pressure, you're going to hear it start going, and I'll show that to you. And then we'll turn the heat down a little bit till it's just sitting there just doing its thing. You know, don't want it going crazy, just want it, you know, just like that. And we're going to let that chicken cook. Even though it says 8 minutes, I'm going to let mine cook for 15, because I want the bones to just pull out of the chicken. And it makes the bones softer for my dogs, okay? So I'm going to load this thing up with the chicken legs. I've got to do this in a couple of parts because my chicken's still frozen, so I won't let it thaw out a little bit. But when we come back, we'll have the chicken and water loaded up in here and sitting on the stove and ready to get her fired up. Okay? So, meanwhile, I have a little nip of my homemade Bailey's Irish cream, and we'll be right back. Okay, it has just now started jiggling. You can hear it maybe. You see the steam? Of course, I got it on high now. I'm going to turn it down. It's sitting up here on high. I'm going to turn this down to, well, I just want it to, I don't want a real high heat. I just want it to sit there and cook. Because that's the beauty part of that pressure cooker. It's gonna do its thing under pressure. And what happens is, what's better than boiling, because see, boiling is only 212 degrees. As hot as you can get your water. But under pressure, it raises that temperature. And that pot is absolutely full of steam right now. And I want to show you that safety valve is up and flush. See how flush that is up there? And this one over here is also. So that's our safety locks, and I won't let us open this thing because it's under pressure. And you see that little thing just sitting there jiggling. All right. Well, it says it's 4:27, and I'm going to come back in 20 minutes because I actually didn't waste much time. I went ahead and put them frozen chicken legs in there. So we're going to come back around 4:45, and that'll be approximately 20 minutes. I may have turned that down a little bit too much. Anyway, we're going to let her just sit there and jiggle a little bit. We'll be back in 20 minutes for me. Well, all right, here we are about 20 minutes later. And you see we're jiggling here. Now I'm going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to let this cool. And the chicken's actually going to continue to cook because it is hot in there. But that's all I'm going to do now. I'm just going to shut it off. I'm just going to let it cool on its own. You can rush it. You can take the pot, take it over to the sink, put water on it and all that. And that is recommended sometimes when you want to stop the cooking. But I like doing it cheap. I've spent the electricity to bring it up to temperature. So I'm just going to get all the cooking out of that I can get, because like I said, I like the bones to get soft for my dogs. Well, we'll come back when it's all cooled off. Oh, just to show you. See there? It's got steam in there. But we're gonna let that quit on its own, and then we'll open it up. Well, alrighty, it is, let's see what time it is. 4:57, so it's been about 10 minutes. And everything's quiet. But I want to show you, even though everything's quiet, the safety valves are still up because we've still got pressure. And that pressure is going to take a long time for that pressure to disperse, because we are sealed and the temperature of everything in there has got to cool way down for that steam to finally say, all right, that's enough, all right, I give up. But we can release it. And that's what I'm going to do, because we've already cooked. We had it jiggling for 20 minutes, and we've already had it cooked for 10 after that. So I'll relieve the pressure off of it. One thing you want to be careful of is that steam is extremely hot, and it will burn you, and it will ruin your entire day. So I'm going to let that sit there and relieve that steam, and then we'll come back. Okay, so it's 5:01. We've released all the pressure. And there, I'll drop that safety lock. Now we can open it without worrying about steam hitting us in the face. Of course, you don't want to take your time. You want to get it off of there and go on, because that is hot. But in just those few minutes, I want to show you how much this is cooked. Unbelievable. Look in there. Look at that. We cooked for 20 minutes. We let it sit in there another 10 with the heat turned off, just under pressure. And just look at that. We're going to pull the, I don't have a pair of tongs, or I could grab that bone and just pull that bone out of there. But I'll get the bones pulled out. I'll get the gristle pulled out. You know, stuff the dogs really like. Okay, so that shows you how quick a pressure cooker can cook. Alright? Well, we'll be back in just a minute to summarize. I was going to come back after another room, sitting at the table with everything. But I thought this would be awesome for you to see. You see that chicken right there? There it is, baby. Falling off the bone. And what's so cool is you can do that pork ribs, beef ribs, just anything that's got bones in it. Oh yeah, make them dogs happy, happy, happy. So I just thought I'd show you. That's called falling off the bone tender right there. I thought I'd show you some super rich chicken broth we've got here. Notice that's as deep as it goes now. That's all the water I put in here. Okay? But man, you talk about some good broth. Man, that right there is rich. That's from a dozen chicken legs. And here's the dozen chicken leg bones. And then over there is the chicken leg meat and the gristle and the fat, or skin. I haven't sorted that out yet. But now you talk about an awesome soup base. Oh man, would that ever be good? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some water to this. And I'm going to let it cool and let that chicken fat come to the top. Then I'm going to scoop that off because I am trying to lose a little bit of weight. So I can avoid that fat. So anyway, I just thought I'd show that to you. Be right back. Well, alrighty then. So we cooked 12 chicken legs. We got us a big old pot of meat there because here's the chicken leg bones. Got us some incredible broth. I mean, that is some mighty fine stuff right there. Use that to make gravy. Use that as a soup base. Use that for anything you want to use it for. And like I said, I got all that food there for $1.37. Well, hand me another little old nip of that homemade Bailey's Irish cream liqueur. And anyway, that's why I recommend a pressure cooker for anybody, well, for everybody's home. Make sure I can see what I'm doing here. Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, so what we got here is we've got our dozen chicken leg bones, which the dogs are going to have an incredibly good time with. A very nice sized pot of pure meat, or a little bit of gristle from the ends of the bones and a little bit of skin. But as I go through it and toss the dogs the gristle and the skin, I'm left with quite a bit of meat there. And of course we've got this wonderful broth. There's so much you can do with a good chicken broth. And when I cooked this, I did not add any salt, I did not add pepper, I did not add anything. All I did was pressure cook that chicken. Well, I hope maybe now that you've seen what I can, or what we or anyone can do with a pressure cooker, I hope it helps encourage you to get one for your home. I really like them, and I really like them when it comes to cooking ribs or get that backbone and get the backbone and ribs out of the way. I mean, you just pull it out like you saw me do that chicken. Man, that you hang on to the bone, the meat falls off. It's good. Well, here, you want a bone? Here. There you go. That's Sadie. Of course, Marley, she's the one that has a little trouble walking, you know. Bless her heart. But she don't have any trouble eating. Anyway, I really do appreciate you watching my videos. I'd really appreciate if you share them with your friends. I really need to grow my channel. And I don't ask anything from my viewers. But it would mean a lot to me if you click that little old subscribe button down there. Also, you know, watch my videos, and if you see one you really like, would you share it with your friends and ask them to subscribe as well? I'd appreciate it. Well, y'all have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye.